மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.
So this next one I'm very excited about because it's an opening novelty that I actually discovered a couple years ago. And it's something that I've never had in a tournament, but I've been able to play a few online games with and had very good success. So we're going to see a pretty standard setup at first, with white doing the usual e3, bishop f4, knight f3. But after black plays bishop g4, this is a signal that white should react a bit differently, because black is attempting to perhaps disturb white's setup, pinning the knight to the queen. In some cases, knight e5 won't be as easy to play. So from this position, the move is c3, e6. And now there is a different move that you don't see too often in the London. I think most players would probably consider something like bishop e2, bishop d3, maybe even bishop to b5. But in my opinion, the strongest move is queen a4. And this is part of my opening repertoire, where the idea is very simple. White pins black's knight, unpins the knight on f3, and white wants to build up pressure with moves like knight e5 and bishop to b5. And now black has to be very careful how to react in this position. And the most natural move for black here is actually a pretty bad mistake, as we'll see, bishop d6. And this is a position where it was white to move and find the tactic. And the move from white is pretty unexpected. And I will admit that I actually used Stockfish to find this move. This is maybe a common type of computer move. It just kind of comes out of nowhere and turns out to be incredibly strong. So the move is bishop to a6. Probably unexpected for most players, putting the bishop on a square where the pawn can simply take it. But if we start digging into some of these concrete variations, we can see black is actually losing material by force. Let's start with perhaps the simplest variation. If b take a6, white is winning back a minor piece and then winning another minor piece. Let's imagine that, I don't know, knight d7 is played, then we can just take the bishop on d6. And if king to e7 is played, we can play queen b7 check. And the position is looking very, very ugly for black. Let's imagine queen d7, then white can get away with bishop take d6, king take d6, queen take a6. And this is just a huge advantage for white. Let's imagine king e7, and then move like knight e5 or d takes c5. And black is just completely falling apart. White is up many pawns and has a nice attack. So going back, the bishop can't be taken. And meanwhile, white has the very simple threat of bishop take b7 and just attacking the knight, which is still pinned, and also the rook on a8. So let's imagine that black attempts to defend the pawn with a move like rook b8. This doesn't solve anything because after bishop take b7 still, rook take b7, we have now a triple fork after queen takes c6, attacking 3 of black's pieces, and white is guaranteed to win something, say queen d7, just queen take d6. So going back, perhaps the most complex line is what would happen after bishop take f4. But again, it's just a matter of playing the right move in this position, bishop take b7. And even though white is temporarily down a piece, white is winning back a lot more material, attacking the rook, attacking the knight. The bishop is still hanging, and black can't actually save two things in this position. If black castles, white can just take on c6, and now is guaranteed to win either the exchange on a8 or the bishop on f4. We can look at another line here. Let's imagine queen a5 is played. This is probably the objectively best move from black, but now it's very simple. White can just take on a5, and after knight take a5, take on d6, and then black has to take on a6, and then white can take on c5, and white is up a very healthy pawn. So yeah, I hope you guys can maybe use this in your own games. It's always nice having a move like this in your back pocket in case you reach this sort of position. Black would clearly be unprepared to meet these menacing threats which are taking place. So maybe I can show just the best continuation for black, which is a move which perhaps isn't so obvious. Best move for black is knight d7. Retreating the knight, but breaking the pin. And the position can continue from here, white can continue to build a pressure with a move like bishop b5 or knight e5, but it would be a very big fight from here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next lesson.
மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.